What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Oninoyama426 here, and welcome back to my hardcore ARK Ragnarok adventure. If you haven't seen days 1 through 40 yet, I highly recommend you go back and watch those first. With that out of the way, let's get into the video. First of all, I want to thank all of you who have been watching through my last few videos. I know the audio was not very good quality, but I think I finally found a good balance of settings on my microphone, so we should be pretty good from here on out. I also want to welcome new subscribers to the channel. Obviously, this is not a large channel, so every subscriber matters to me. It might just be because I have a monkey brain, and I like seeing numbers get higher. I don't know, but nevertheless, your support does not go unnoticed. Alright, so as I mentioned at the end of last video, I'm going to be preparing to fight the Ice Queen on day 50, so I'll go ahead and set out some goals to accomplish this. 1. I want to build a chem bench in order to produce things you would normally craft in a mortar and pestle more efficiently, especially for lots of gunpowder for bullets, because I'm going to need guns. Obviously, I live in America. 2. I got a really nice shotgun blueprint I want to build to use said ammo that's going to cost a lot of resources. Sadly, it's not a pump shotty, but it's better than nothing. 3. I want to build an industrial cooker to make medical brews faster and more efficiently, as well as soups in case my fur armor doesn't completely protect me from the cold of the Ice Queen's lair. With all that in mind, let's begin. During the night of day 41, the level 175 Fire Wyvern and 20 Ice Wyvern hatched, and were maturing alongside the first Rex I've yet to name. I've got to admit, I was not expecting this greenish color on a Fire Wyvern, but it looks pretty cool. The Ice Wyvern, however, looks cooler. Get it? Because it's ice and ice is cold? No? No, okay. Anyway, I think it looks amazing, but its stats are just absolutely garbage, so I probably won't end up using it for anything. I checked on the requirements for a chem bench, and honestly, it's not bad at all compared to the other industrial items. I also checked the industrial cooker, which would be a bit more grinding, but still not that bad. I went around the house and gathered up the resources I had for the chem bench, and it looks like I'll need polymer and electronics. So I did the only rational thing, and went on a metal run to start smelting it while I collected the other resources. I loaded my new metal in the forge to smelt, and I would say I'm set for the near future on metal. My hair finally finished growing, so I checked out how I looked with my armor on, and I look schmixy. I need electronics to build the chem bench, and my tech parasaur resource operation is not quite complete yet, so I went to get silica pearls to craft them the old-fashioned way. I also found a tech parasaur while I was searching, so I got a little jump on the electronics. If you've never gotten silica pearls in ARK before, you get them from these shiny clams, usually at the bottom of the ocean. But Rangarok is an awesome map that has an area close to my base that just has a buttload in dino-free waters. I collected as many as I could find and returned home. Once there, I somehow put the pearls and metal ingots together to create a complicated composite capable of transmitting electricity and performing the functions of a computer. But this is ARK, where logic and physics come to die. If you didn't know, I'm actually a physics major at college, so this game is just perfect for me. I went back to the frozen lake to end some more innocent penguins for polymer, as well as tranking out a saber-tooth that was stuck on some ice. Unfortunately, it ended up in the water, and as some of you may know, oxygen is kind of important for land mammals. While flying around on Bane, I thought I might want to tame a Bronto because I needed to upgrade my berry collection from a parasaur to make more narcotics for med brews. So I found this juicy 135 and started shooting. There is only one problem. I'm very low on darts because I haven't made any new ones since the last time, and I'm not sure I have enough to finish tranking this guy out. Also, I was not monitoring my health at all. Once I noticed how low it was, I obtained the high ground and became invincible.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground! You underestimate my power! Don't try it!
As it turns out, I did not have enough trank darts, even though it was obviously a very high torpor because it was running, so I rushed back home to make more. Once I returned, I spotted the 135 Bronto and resumed tranking. But I ran out of darts again, and I couldn't think of why it didn't go down. That is, until I crested the cliff and saw the original Bronto just chilling in the middle of the plain. So somehow, there were two identical level 135 male Brontos close to each other on the same mountain. Thanks a lot, ARK. Rip my 40 trank darts. Anyway, I made more, came back and hit it with 2 darts, and as it started to fall, guess what happened? My game crashed. Anyway, I logged back in and took down the Bronto much more smoothly this time around, despite it being pitch black. I loaded him up with mayo berries and realized it was going to be a while until he tamed. I went back to imprint my wyverns for that extra stat boost, which was no problem at all. The first Rex of the series finally matured fully, so it's time to give it a proper name. And that name is Octuptara. Oct is my first and longest supporter of this channel, and I've been gaming with him for a little over 4 years now. He makes absolutely fire Apex Legends montages, so if that's your kind of deal, then make sure to check out his channel. Don't worry, there will be plenty more dinos to name, so most if not all of you should see your names in future videos. Just remember to leave a comment so I can see your names if you haven't already. I positioned Oct next to the other Rexes and checked on the taming progress of the Bronto. I finally got that chem bench made and placed it down next to my forge. I once again checked the requirements for an industrial cooker and prepared for the grind. The next day I gathered flint with Tanky in order to make spark powder in order to create gunpowder with the chem bench. Just watch this next part. This is exactly why I wanted a chem bench. It's just so awesome to craft things in bulk so quickly. I finished crafting a metric butt ton of spark powder and got on Bane to travel to the volcano. If you are not aware, you can actually get a lot of charcoal from these black trees on the volcano using the wyvern's wing beat, which normally gathers thatch. And of course, charcoal is needed for gunpowder. By the time I got back, my Bronto was up and I named him Berry Boy, because that is his function. I popped all that charcoal into the chem bench and started crafting loads of gunpowder for all the ammo I'm gonna make. I hopped on Berry Boy and tested him out to see just how much he collected. I would say that's a good quality tame. I grabbed all the narco berries and started crafting narcotics as well. I got to level 96 and unlocked the Giga Saddle. Maybe I'll end up taming one later, even though you can't use them in the boss fight. I used some of my new gunpowder to make more darts, just in case. I transferred the metal needed for the industrial cooker over to the fabricator and went to get this red drop, which was utterly useless. I went back again to bully the next generation of beavers by stealing their cementing paste. I went back to the Middle East, the snow, to get some oil from my pump. We're doing pretty well on the cooker, I just need some polymer. In the morning, I arrived at the volcano and killed some mantis for polymer. Once I got back, I finally crafted the cooker and we are looking golden for mid-tier crafting structures. It is a little more difficult to place down a cooker because it actually requires a pipeline of water directly into it. After a long time experimenting with the pipes, I got them level to the floor, but the cooker was half inside, half outside my wall, so I messed around a bit more with it. I finally settled on placing it next to my industrial grill. It was at this time my wyverns fully matured, so obviously I needed to try them out. I forged the bond of friendship with my new fire wyvern the way all the best friendships start. Brutal murder. The fire wyvern was just blazing through every creature it met, so guess what I named it? Yep, pretty self-explanatory. The ice wyvern I named Icicle, mainly because its horns look like icicles to me. I will admit I love the ice wyvern's breath. It's like the fire wyvern, but it actually slows down the creatures it hits, which is pretty cool. Nevertheless, its stats are still very bad, even though it definitely has the most awesome look of any wyvern. So I parked it on this small plateau above my breeding platform to keep its watchful gaze over the newest generations of the Oninoyama tribe. I was finally able to breed my parasaurs again and got lots of eggs, which I promptly stole and lined up on the hatching platform. This should get me the remaining few I need to complete my breeding line. I also got another Rex egg to add to the platform. I put Blaze in his rightful spot next to Bane, and they are looking amazing. In the early hours of the night, the tech eggs hatched, and I picked out the females I wanted to keep breeding and left the other newborns to their fate. The horrible fate at the hands of Octoptara. When I attacked the babies, the game lagged so hard I thought I would get kicked. But it turns out it does this every time I kill babies en masse. Man, that sounds really bad. When the act was carried out, though, the baby carcasses just decided to yeet themselves into another universe, apparently because I could not find the bodies and thus got nothing from them. I am officially sad. Notify the people. After that, I decided to start making med brews, so I got all the tinta berries from my Bronto and loaded them into the cooker. Then I got all the narca berries and made narcotics. In the morning, I combined the narcotics with the tinta berries and lit up the cooker. I really like the aesthetic of these purple flames. I had an ordeal with my staircase when I got stuck, and I put even more tinta berries into the cooker because I grossly underestimated how many it takes. I made this makeshift staircase as a temporary replacement because the old one just wasn't working, as I clearly just showed you. After a bit of experimentation, I came up with this, which I think looks reasonably good and works much better. I had enough med brews now, so I stored them in my fridge. The new Rex hatched, and I did not name it as per the rules set during the last 10 days. After getting the resources for it, I crafted the Mastercraft shotgun blueprint I had from one of my loot runs, and started crafting the ammo for it after loading all this gunpowder into my smithy. Oh yeah, that's satisfying. I also looted the cave again, with Blaze this time, but this was a special trip because I needed to start leveling up my dire bear for the Ice Queen, and I decided the best way to do so was by murdering the very high level bears in this cave with her for that sweet XP. By the time I got out of the cave, it was night, so I went to go check the baby dinos and noticed something peculiar. The Rex is missing. So I checked the log, and it is confirmed that I would be a terrible parent. Apparently, I didn't fill the trough with meat before I left, so we'll be a little delayed on Rexes for a bit, because it takes them like 5 hours before they can mate again. On second thought, I might boost those rates for the next video because this is ridiculous. Man, I love the smell of a metal trip in the morning. And the very expensive heater is on. I lined the now mature tech parasaurs up for optimal mating conditions and got briefly distracted by a very green bird. Eventually the parasaurs finished. Oh, wow, I'm an actual child. And I collected their unborn offspring once again. Another loot run. When the precious babies hatched, I decided to murder them properly this time, with a gun. Like I said before, physics comes to ARK to die. I harvested their bodies with different tools, each time resulting in a disappointingly small amount of resources. So next time I think I'll let them fully mature and then kill them to see what happens. Then I had the sudden idea to build a greenhouse for vegetables so I can make soups and kibble, since I already have everything else for it. So I unlocked all the engrams for it. I picked this nice little island plateau to build it on after constructing all the foundations for it. I put down a 4x4 base. I think this will be plenty of space for crops. I placed down the piping for it, as well as the taps so the crops will have a water source, and I made a trip to the ice cave with Vicarian and Tanky to gather as much crystal as I can to make the greenhouse structures, which will give me the greenhouse gas buff, so the crops grow quicker and produce more. When I got back, I loaded all the resources into the fabricator, only to realize you can't make greenhouse structures in a fabricator. So I made another smithy and put it next to the fabricator rather than transport it all downstairs, and I crafted all the parts I would need. Then I went back to the island and placed my structures. After a bit more grinding, I built and placed all the crop plots and got all the seeds from the Bronto. Now there's only one more ingredient: poop. I'll get a dung beetle soon so I don't have to do this so much, but for now, poop will work just fine. I deposited the poop and seeds, and I really want to stop saying poop now, so I'm gonna move on. I went to the volcano again to find a dung beetle and came across this shiny feller here, so I promptly stole him. I brought him home and tamed him and gave him the same name any rational adult would. I got another Rex egg and more Tech Parasaur eggs, so you already know what's gonna happen there, and made sure that the trough had meat in it this time. After that, I went to level up Winnie more because day 50 is approaching rapidly. After I was finished in the cave, I emerged into broad daylight. I got more charcoal and made more gunpowder because in one of my loot runs I found a Mastercraft pistol I figured I would bring along as extra insurance. The new baby Rex hatched and I made sure all was well, and oh my god, would you look at those stats? That's before imprinting too. These are going to be some amazing Rexes. I checked on my plants and all seemed to be in good order, and I decided to take my Griffin on a trip to explore the Highlands because I was honestly running out of things to do before the Ice Queen. I saw the Wyvern that was still trapped that quickly became untrapped when it saw me and decided to get revenge. But I'm still way too quick on the Griffin for that thing to catch me. I saw my first Giga off in the distance, which is where I would prefer it to stay. That was pretty much it, as it quickly turned to night and I returned home. Once I got there, I noticed the next Tech Parasaurs were all grown up and ripe for the slaughter. So once again I brought Octoptara to bear, hoping their bodies wouldn't travel to another dimension this time. To my surprise, it worked pretty well, although the bodies creeped me out a little bit. I learned the best way to harvest these bodies is a chainsaw, so I got to work. Wow, what a difference it makes when they're fully grown. I got so many more resources out of this. I attached a metal tap to the pipes in my house so I can finally drink from something other than the ocean, and made another metal trip. I leveled up Winnie as much as I could and imprinted the Rex, and somewhere along the way got another Rex egg going on the platform. That was really it, other than just collecting resources for day 48. Day 49, I made a riot shield for the cave, hoping it would help out. I made some soups in the cooker in case I needed extra help against the cold, and I made a spray paint gun, which I have literally never used before. Yeah, I did some stupid things with it, but I was bored from all the prep. I did do this cool thing with the breeding platform where I painted the outside blue, though. And of course, it wouldn't be a proper 10 days without a visit from some friends.
Yo, it's 11 at night. What's going on?
Grinding art. Jesus Christ.
Shit. I am 1 day away from recording the next 10 days, so...
Oh.
Yeah, it's like that one Loba skin. They're all themed after it.
Yeah, I like the wingman too. The wingman looks sick.
It looks super unique. I don't know what's up with it, man. It looks cool.
Yeah, I feel like it has its own iron sight.
I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, they all have that circle iron sight, but it depends on how thick it is, and this looks like kind of a chunky one. It's like a medium wingman.
Oh my god. Oh. Yeah, that's not creepy at all. Alright, this must be the entrance then. Ooh, boss is available. Well, that is what I want. Yeah, I know, buddy. I'm scared too. Left, middle, or right? Well, can't go wrong going right. Never mind. Don't go right. Go left. Oh. Oh my god, there's two of them. Scaring the living daylights out. Oh my god. Ooh, a red drop. And death drops.
I emerged from the cave shaken but victorious on day 51, with a bunch of loot I'll show you guys next time. By the end of day 60, I will take on the lava golem and hopefully survive to see another 10 days at least. Thank you all for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe.